see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy.
What's going on, guys? So welcome back to a N.Y.M.I.A top 5. We don't really have time technically to film a whole episode, or we don't have bodies to record a whole episode, but we got time to knock out a top 5 at least. And for the moment, it's me and Ricky.
What up?
Who is recovered, hopefully, from his sickness as it is.
Mm.
So either way, we'll talk about more about that once we actually get time to do a real episode. But we're going to be doing a top 5 live action, had to specify, TV show themes or theme songs as it goes, because some people might get confused about that verbiage. It's like murder mystery? No, not that.
No, not that.
Not that. Not that. Never that. And so basically, I forget how I got into this the other day. Somebody was talking about something, and I was like, ooh, this thing has a great theme song. And like, oh, wait, this has a great theme song. I was like, oh, I'm stealing this idea for a top 5. Because I think at one point we talked about doing a cartoon theme song, and like Batman animated series is just going to be at the top of the list. But or with gargoyles and a few other things
For good reason.
Almost anything from the Disney Afternoon from 1989 to 1993, basically the entire Disney Afternoon lineup, and Power Rangers season 1. But either way, we'll count that. Oh wait, no. Here's an interesting question: should Power Rangers count because it is a live action show? It's not a cartoon.
I mean, technically, it falls in your.
So that technically falls into the category, and
yeah,
I
it
didn't.
does. So you can
See, I
count.
knew this was going to happen. I knew once we get
I
rolling.
have another honorable mention.
There's another honorable mention because I have plenty. So as it goes, generally speaking, we'll go in the round. Unfortunately, it's just me and Ricky at the moment. We're hoping somebody else might pop in. We're giving Rob a lot of shit. Hopefully he can join in. And Mike was supposed to join us. He keeps saying he's going to join us.
He doesn't like us anymore.
Mike, well, God knows what his schedule looks like now. And I did post it to the N.Y.M.I.A YouTube channel and to my It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel to get you guys' opinions and answers. And I think Christine wrote to me instead of putting in a comment. I'll have to go back and look, but I think she did. But guys, after we go through our list, or perhaps before the list gets started, leave your top 5 shows that you can come up with down below in the comments, because frankly, it helps the algorithm and it gives us something to read from you guys. All right. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Nah, you go ahead.
All right. Because Ricky doesn't have his full list in his head just yet.
Well, it's because I was sick and I didn't read the instructions very well. So.
Yeah, he failed hard. All right. So I have several honorable mentions. So we'll start at honorable mentions. And I guess I'll throw Power Rangers in there while we're at it. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
No, that's mine. You can't have it.
We're going to have lots and lots of these. Honestly, this should have been a top 10 list.
I don't know if we'll have lots of.
I think we will. I think we will have some
you
crossover.
Dig deep. I know Doctor Who's going to be on your shit somewhere, and it's definitely not going to be on mine.
You know nothing. Okay. Anyways, so I'll say MASH.
Nice. That's actually in mine. God damn it!
I knew it would
because
be.
I actually like the movie version better with the lyrics. But
See, actually, I've never heard the movie version, so I'm going just TV show version.
It's fucking depressing. Literally,
oh, I'm sure it's a depressing song.
Suicide is painless.
Yes.
Is the name of the song.
Or well, Suicide is happiness.
No, Suicide is painless.
Are you sure?
Hey, Dormammu's here.
Hey, there he is.
Hey guys.
Just
don't
in
come in here
time.
with that low beat, fucking
like,
no energy.
He's like,
You better
hey
fucking
guys.
pick that shit up.
Hey guys.
What up?
Oh
Not-
God,
not
get out.
that. Not
Bye.
that.
Go back to it.
Okay,
See
so
ya.
so now I have to play the adjusting the audio game again.
Jeez
Yeah, like when you were in the group chat talking about your thing, and I was like, and tell that motherfucker to get on here. He's like, oh, be nice. He's trying to deal with stuff. I was like, Dormammu knows better
about
than
now?
that.
Is that way too much?
No, that's good.
Oh, okay, great, fantastic. Okay,
I don't know what you
What the
did.
fuck
I
but-
don't
just
actually have to
happened?
be like on top of the microphone.
Yes.
Did you turn your gain up?
Oh, is that Mike?
I turned the input sensitivity like way down,
Uh-huh.
but I kept the gain on the actual physical microphone exactly where it was.
Oh, that made a huge difference then.
This is the input sensitivity, so I have it like set to almost like nil
Oh,
to like
yeah.
negative 93 decibels, so that's picking up like.
Oh, that would be why I have to
literally if I
crank it
breathe.
93 decibels.
Mhm.
Right,
Okay,
exactly.
so
That would completely explain it.
Okay.
So I have like I can give us because I hate wasting a list, and I have my list
Uh-huh.
already ready.
Good.
Nice.
Ricky
So
does not.
I can devote. I
have most of
20
it.
I can devote 20 minutes to this.
That's
No,
gonna
no.
be.
We get 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
They had you at the fucking fuckboy. horse farm all day.
It won't be 2 hours, but
No, we're doing a full podcast now. He's here. Fuck
okay,
this
good.
top
Yes.
thing.
All right. So I just did my honorable mentions. Ricky has not done his. So if you missed it, because I think you were just coming. Actually, no. All I said was MASH. I had not gone through my whole.
No, you didn't.
Mentions.
You just said we started talking about MASH and then he showed
Yep.
up.
Okay. So I did honorable mentions so far. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, MASH, the show, not the movie.
That's a given.
Airwolf, and Knight Rider. Or my
God damn it!
those
Get
are
out
just
of my fucking list, you piece of shit.
those are just honorable mentions. So like, what the fuck
Those
is
are
that?
just honorable mentions. Wow.
Yeah, and I could probably throw on at least 10 more honorable mentions. So this should have been a top 10. Okay, so since Rob just got here, we're punishing him by making go first.
We're not allowed to do ties, but you can do.
No, we can. No, we can. We're doing ties in this one only if they're related. New rules. If it's a related
new
thing.
rules. It means it works for his list. New rules.
Or if nothing else, because we had a person who tried to give us a 7-way tie. I was like, no, fuck that. That's too much.
I gave you a 7-way tie.
Jay.
Tie. How do you get a 7-way tie?
Oh Jesus!
Because
Christ.
okay, so
He
spoiler.
did every Star Trek.
Yes,
theme song.
he did. Literally said every Star Trek theme song. No
Well,
joke.
just so you know, one of those is definitely in my top.
One of
5,
those is in my top 5. So
and I bet you it's the same one.
maybe. I don't know.
It's
All right,
been
so
a long
nope.
way.
Nope.
Nope. Really?
No.
Okay, then boom, I get my own.
Okay, so either way, Rob, do your honorable mentions since Ricky's already giving away his top 5.
Okay, so my 2 honorable mentions are not action shows, but they are memorable songs.
They just
First
had to be
would
live.
Cheers.
They just have to be live action.
Yeah, well, I mean live action. Okay, so
God
Cheers
damn
would be
it.
the first one.
Good one.
Which
I
was
hate you.
and I even got the composer and the writer. So it was Judy Hart Angelo and Gary Portnoy. It's one of the most memorable songs, and if you remember, it actually made the top 40 for a while there.
As an actual song,
and
yeah.
then the other honorable mention, which is one of the most memorable lyrics, is Gilligan's Island, written by Sherwood Schwartz and George Weil.
Nice. That didn't even make my list.
Yeah, because I can literally, I mean, you'll be hard pressed to find anybody
It's an
under the age
earworm.
of 20 that knows what we're talking about or the lyrics to it. However, it is some of
Just
the most
sit right
memorable
back
lyrics,
and
and
you'll hear
it's
a tale.
Sherwood
A tale of a
Schwartz.
fateful trip.
You know, Sherwood. I mean, Sherwood wrote a lot of music for his own shows: The Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island. The list goes on.
Adam's Family.
Adam's
I'm-
Family, exactly.
Yeah, I was like,
Stop hollering stuff out that might be on other people's lists.
hey, it's not on my list, so I can mention it. Do-do-do-do.
So those are my 2. I only had 2 honorable mentions, but those are it.
That's good. That's
Because
good.
those 2 to me are the most.
I think Ricky's writing down his list now.
like I've already been writing it, and that's why I'm saying y'all start talking and you're like going off on these little tangents. I'm like, shut up and get off my list already. Damn it.
All right, Ricky, honorable mentions.
Hold on. You're keep talking about the ones you have on your list.
Okay,
Quit
so
adding.
how about this? Okay, so just for Rob's sake, since he doesn't have a whole lot of time to devote, I'll read the chats or the comments later, so that you don't have to be here for that if you got to go. So there's probably like I think 9 people or so, 7 to 9 people who participated and gave us their list.
Wow.
So
That's quite good.
yeah, so putting that out ahead of time actually helped. It's like, but
Okay.
had we recorded on our original day we were going to, then we would have like nothing. Having that extra week gave a lot of people time to submit their list. So go ahead,
Wow.
Ricky.
I had one that you mentioned and one that's already on your list as my honorable mentions. My
Okay.
honorable mention was MASH. It would have made my list if I could have used the movie version of it because it is a beautiful song with
Is it a TV
very
movie?
haunting lyrics. No,
No,
MASH. the
I know.
movie.
I'm saying, was it a TV movie?
That's what I'm saying. The show gets honorable mention
Yeah.
just because of the music part of it. If
Gotcha.
it had the lyrics, it would have been in my top 5.
I mean, it is super
Um,
recognizable.
Yeah. Oh, everybody knows that. Fuck that beat. You know,
Yeah.
the
Even
tune
the
to
first
it.
3, chords of it, the first stanza of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And people will
Exactly.
know immediately what you're talking about.
I'm getting chills
um,
thinking about it.
Cheers is also in my honorable mention.
Yeah.
Because again, everybody knows that one. People still make jokes about that show. And
Everybody knows its
still
name.
Yeah, everybody, and they'll say that. Like, when you
Norm.
say you want to go somewhere, I'll go, I want to go where everybody knows my name. Like, so people
It-
still reference it 30 years later.
Dude,
So
if
again,
you
it's
know
very
anyone
much.
named Norm, you have to yell their name like that when they walk in the room.
And even if you're going into a bar and your friend's sitting at the bar when you get there, he's fucking Norm so that you could yell Norm from the door. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's in there. It's there.
Yeah.
So those two and Adam's Family, because you
They
that's why I
would
was
throw
like,
it
quit
out there.
fucking just yelling shit because it was on my honorable mentions because I love it. I'll sit down, I'll be walking through the living room and my kids will be like over there watching TV or something, and I'll just sit down and start playing the Adam's Family on the piano just to fuck with them. And then they'll start laughing and then they'll be snapping and shit. So we have a little fun with it.
It's classic.
Those are my honorable mentions. MASH because it doesn't have the lyrics. Cheers because of the lyrics, and it's just barely didn't make my top 5. Like it was my top 5, and Cheers were like, which one do I want
which one's
more
in
of?
there? Yeah.
Man, so I mean, it's like right there, and I didn't want to hear Shoky's mouth about ties, so
No, we can have ties because I have one tie, but the shows are tied together, so that's why I lump them together.
And then Adam's Family just because it's very
super
like,
recognizable.
Yep.
And like, I guess in theory, if there was a honorable mention, then I would throw Cheers and Adam's Family in there too, because I might as well have a top 10 fucking list at that point.
This motherfucker's got like a top
that
20 over here.
That would legit make it a top 10. Those two make it a top 10.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now.
with
My number
7 ties.
one.
Yeah.
My number 1 is the best live action theme. So Shang, and if y'all don't agree, you're just wrong.
Shang-Chi?
I'm just letting you know now. It's the number 1 song.
It's the number 1 Shang-Chi? Okay.
It's very much the number 1, and if you didn't call it, you're just incorrect.
Okay. All right. So my number 5 is my tie, which is Buffy and Angel.
Interesting.
I lumped those together because that Buffy theme, that rock intro, that hard, and then Angel kind of plays off of that, but gives a much more brooding, dark theme, but still throws it in there, but then adds the cellos as well, not so much the guitars.
Right.
But because that's
very much everything had an X for extreme.
Exactly. Extreme.
So I'm going to let you in on a super dark secret of mine. I've never watched a single episode of Angel, and I think I've maybe seen 2 episodes of Buffy in my entire life.
Well, don't watch it now.
Wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, don't watch.
It's not dated, but it is fun to watch. It's just more
if you grew up with it. If you grew up with it,
because the concept of it doesn't bother me. I love the movie. Like as stupid and cheesy as that movie is with Luke Perry and what was it? Kristen Swanson was Buffy. Like I love that movie.
Swanson, yeah.
So I just never got into the show.
My Buffy watching and my Angel watching was purely because of the rerun.
Because he was buffing his Angel is why he was watching that shit.
No, it was an ex-girlfriend who was a huge Buffy fan. So,
y'all motherfuckers got your camera.
She would watch it, and that was our watching thing.
Nice. All right, so that was his Buffy Angels. His 5. What's your 5, Dormammu?
The Mission Impossible original theme song written by Lalo Schifrin.
Nice.
On the TV show.
Classic Mission Impossible
on the TV show, yeah.
Man, this motherfucker went all the way back to the 60s. You're digging, dude.
Yep.
Well, okay.
Well, we did
we're
MASH.
talking about we're talking about the most memorable ones, the ones that are the best ones
to
live
you.
action. The moment you see that matchlet and you hear the music, it's kicking in.
But it's like a slower
and it's
tempo.
carried through. I mean, look at all the Tom Cruise movies. Look at all.
Oh God,
that theme has.
It's never changed.
I mean, it's
they
never
made it
changed
more techno-y
because
for the
it
movies.
It's even been used in kids' movies for like that spy scene. You know,
and Spy Hunter kind of ripped it off.
Exactly.
The game?
Yeah, the game. Yeah, it's it's a very similar thing.
Reminiscent.
Yeah, it's there. It's like, is this which one is this? It's like, no, it's Spy Hunter. It's fine.
Right.
That's cool though. I like that you went.
That's a good one.
You went to the mat on looking up who wrote the shit, so that's good.
Dormammu is nothing if not thorough.
Yes,
thorough.
I have an extra week.
This is true.
God, I am just my brain is still fried from this week, man.
You got COVID brain. It's fine.
Got retard brain. I don't know what the fuck.
Can't say that.
Oh, I can. I just did deal with it.
Oh, you're talking about yourself. It's fine.
Yeah, and I was talking about it medically, so I was using it correctly.
Go ahead.
All right. So I did have just a number 5, but since you did we can tie as long as it's the same thing, I was able to slip in a secondary to the tie.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with "Boy, the Way Glenn Miller Played." Go for it. I know y'all know it. Yes.
Oh,
All in the Family.
All in
Yep.
the Family. So my tie is the
I don't-
Jeffersons.
see, I don't know the
Yep.
words to the All in the Family song that well. That's why I was confused.
Yep, it's All in the Family with a tie to the Jeffersons.
I'll give you I'll give you that one because it is a spinoff. So yeah.
Yeah, I understood the rules as soon as you said Buffy and Angel.
Well, it's like I think a lot of people would not relate those two things
yeah,
without realizing that it's actually
that's not my fault.
one's a
They don't
spinoff.
know that the Jeffersons was a direct spinoff of All in the Family. Like they started out on the show, they were their neighbors.
I
They
mean,
lived, like across the street.
do we not throw in an honorable mention on that with Sanford and Son?
Sanford and Son was not tied into that though.
Okay, I know, but I was like,
But that is another good honorable mention,
dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn, I'm gonna be
I'm telling you, it should have been a top 10.
top 20.
Should have
Give me
been
like
top
10 minutes
10.
and we'll make a top 20 and just fucking
Well,
run this.
we're starting
No,
over.
but that is a good choice. It is
Yeah.
that is a very classic
Moving
song,
on
but it's
up.
classic to it's
Like, I
classic
still
to the
do
time
the-
frame too.
I still do the opening to All in the Family.
So, that was-
like I'll
those
sing
were
it
the
around the house and
days?
stuff. Yeah, those were the days.
Now, remember when Family Guy spoofed that?
Yeah, that's their whole opening.
Well, I
is
know,
a
but I mean,
spoof
Well,
of
didn't
Family
they do-
Guys, that's their whole
They
opening.
did a
yep.
full spoof, didn't they?
That's
at
the
one point?
whole opening.
the whole entire
You
opening.
can
is
find it on
literally the
YouTube,
opening.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say I know they've done it before.
It's
Yeah, because
awesome
that
stuff.
intro when they go on against the piano with Peter and Lois.
Yeah.
that is
That's the intro to
Archie
the
and-
original.
That's literally Archie and
Edith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Good
so
one.
that one
Good
to the
one.
Jeffersons, number 5.
very
All
good.
right, number 4, Shoki.
I'm getting there. My phone went to sleep. The one, fuck you for saying it earlier. Doctor Who.
I knew that was going to be on this goddamn
So-
list. I'm surprised it's not higher.
So
that's my number 4 too.
yeah. So there we go. There we go.
We get these
So
number
the
fours out
thing
of the way.
is, the reason it's not higher is because I've realized
'Cause
that
it's
over
trash.
the years, that there's other things that now mean more to me. Like Doctor Who is more of nostalgia, even though I'm still into it. But the hard part is the theme has evolved so much
Mhm.
over the
Correct,
years
yeah,
that
so
like
gotten-
it's just
there's a lot more instrumental wall of sound to it, but
there's all
the
kinds of
original
newness
with-
to it.
the original with the Wurlitzer and the,
Damn it, I just thought of
And-
another one.
There you go. We'll slide it in somewhere.
but Ron Grainer and Eric Winstone were the original writers
For the
and they used
original one?
theremin for it.
Yep.
For the original theme.
And they still have
and it
theremins
is-
in it in some of the modern
Yes.
versions.
Yes.
The season
And
10
that theme,
season
even
10
with
does
the
have it.
variations. Yeah,
Not season
even with the
10.
variations, it still has not quite. It has. It's still. It's the backbeat.
It's the
that
brum, brum, brum,
background.
brum, 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 brum,
Mhm.
brum, brum, brum.
Yep.
And then they just kind of change the depending on what they're playing it with, because the Matt Smith era and the added a bit more guitar to it, and then when they got to Peter Capaldi, they
reintroduced
stepped it
for,
down.
yeah, when they reintroduced for Eccleston, that's the point where it changed.
Yeah,
That's the
but
point where they
actually
got more
between-
instrumental.
But here's the funny thing: 9th, 10th, 11th Doctors all have slightly different themes. 10 and 11, or 10 or 9 and 10 are very similar, but there is a difference. And the outro theme sounds the same, but isn't. I know because I have these as separate ringtones on my phone.
Plus
much.
8 plus 8 was also the middle of the song technically because
Yes.
they were using part of that. They were
That's
using
true.
part of that.
All right,
When they
so-
were doing the look at our fancy Apple CG graphics.
Pretty much, yes. All right, so that knocks out me and Rob's number 4, so that gets to Ricky.
All right, so I have my number 4, and I was gonna try to slide into this one I just thought of, but I'm not going to, just in case it makes one of y'all's list. I don't want to blow it on just a, oh my god, I just thought about it. So I'm gonna, at the very end when we're all done, if nobody's mentioned it, I'll bring it up.
Okay.
But my number 4 is of course Knight Rider.
Okay.
I love it. I have 2 songs that have sampled it on my iPod.
We talked
Busta
about it
Rhymes
before,
did a
yeah.
Fired Up remix to it, and then Timbaland and Magoo did a song to it with the background, and I still listen to those like on constant rotation just because I love that. That drive, it's a very driving beat,
Yeah.
and then you get to that like it's very
it's
synthy,
actually a
very 80s, but
superhero sound. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
And when you apply it to the fact that they're talking about the car, like
it
everybody
also-
remembers Michael Knight, but the show is actually about the car.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be about the car.
a
And they
shadowy
made the
flight
car-
into a future.
No, God, I mean it's just great.
Like forget just the
gotta
music,
do it
but
right.
the actual theme,
Knight
what the
Rider,
intro with
the
the
shadowy flight into a dangerous future of a man who does not exist.
exist. Yeah. So like if you include all of the quote unquote lyrics, as it goes. It's pretty cool. But also, doesn't it start out with like a desert wind and then rolls into the beat?
Well, it starts out with that.
Well, I thought it started with a wind.
The pilot episode has that the longer desert intro.
Yeah.
The pilot actually had that longer desert intro, and then you hear you don't even hear the beat just yet. You're hearing the sound of the sensor.
Yeah.
As it goes back and forth, and then the car appears, and then you get that beat, and it just starts.
Yep.
It's like an instant testosterone boost.
Dude,
Yeah,
honestly,
it is great theme song.
I would
for
say
as basic as it is.
it is very much a superhero theme because I could easily hear it as like a knockoff Superman.
Superman,
theme.
yeah,
It is very much a
has
Superman
those beats
theme.
to it. Yep.
All right.
So that's my number 4.
So wrapping around to my number 3 then. And of course, we did mention that some Star Trek would be on here.
Nice.
And it was difficult for me to pick one to throw on this list, but it was the one that means the most to me, and it's Deep Space Nine.
Nice.
I knew you'd say that.
That
I knew you'd go.
it's the best one.
It is a very lonely. It is a very lonely kind of track, but it is.
Thanks.
It really emphasizes the drama of the show.
It does.
It emphasizes the whole
But
point
It's
of the
not the
show,
best
which was
one, but
to
it is
be-
a good one.
Dude,
It is not the best one, and I will agree with this because based on where you see I placed these shows, you'll understand. But yes, it is definitely
Voyager was
I-
a second, was right behind it, but I couldn't put it on the list
No,
for me.
Enterprise beats them all.
no, but it is very good.
No, I think
DS9 is very
of
good
the
for that.
straight up instrumental intros.
That
I
was
think
that
it's
was
the
not
best.
part of the. That was not
No,
part
but
of
I'm
the
saying
sketch.
that's where I'm at. So like, because you classify the one for Enterprise differently because it's a real song with lyrics and all that kind of stuff. None of the other Star Trek shows have that.
I don't classify Enterprise theme as anything. Sorry, folks.
You better watch your whore mouth. You better go back to the
No.
fucking horse farm.
It's been a long time.
I love that song.
From there to here, and
You know-
I wasn't for it then, and I'm not.
You
for
know,
it now.
it's been a
That
long,
song will hit
it's
me
been
in
a
my
longer
feels, man.
time since DS9 came out, and it was a much better theme. So moving on to Rob's number 3.
So my number 3 is actually again this was written by somebody that's written a lot of other shows, but Magnum PI. Which was
Nice.
Peter Carpenter and Mike Post, but Post also wrote he was prolific. He wrote A-Team. He wrote Law and Order. He wrote Hill Street Blues. He wrote The Rockford Files. He wrote Doogie Howser. He wrote The St. Elsewhere.
Doogie
Thing.
Howser's
He wrote
another
The
good
White
one, too.
Shadow.
Like,
I mean,
okay.
he was just
So Law and Order's theme almost made it, but it's like I like that, but it's not
the
as
theme, it's the
meaningful.
doink doink. That's the best part.
No, like the original, the actual Law and Order, the just a straight Law and Order theme song is really good.
But the doink doink is the best part of that whole entire song.
Doink doink.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
song.
It's
but
a
the
good
best part
song.
is the dong dong.
But it's actually the like whammy they put in the middle. Wah, wah, like that. There's so much to that song.
But the Magnum PI theme to me really
back to
stuck
Magnum.
out of
Yeah.
all of those that Post had written because it's that
I can see
It-
the
it's
intro
that
in my
beat
head,
to
but
it
I
that you
can't
catch
think
it.
of the music.
This,
yeah, okay. Yeah, got it. Because I'm seeing the helicopter, I'm seeing the Ferrari.
And
Yeah.
his face boom.
I can see the entire intro, but I can't, for some reason, the theme itself was not coming to me. Now I got it. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, because it does have a really, and it kicks up. Yeah. That's
because
a good one.
it's got that guitar riff.
Yeah. I would say the Knight Rider is better than that, but that has more energy.
Well, see, Knight Rider, you'll see where Knight Rider falls.
Knight Rider's higher on your list, so yeah.
It's-
Okay, there we go.
it
Gave
is
it
higher on my
away.
list,
Not-
actually,
yeah,
yeah.
there we go. Okay, so Ricky.
Sorry, but that's all good. Yeah.
So number 3 should be no surprise. 60s Batman theme.
I didn't.
I mean,
I
just-
honestly didn't consider it, but yeah.
yeah, it's there. Like
Yeah, that's what-
Honorable
that's-
mention number 6.
it's like honorable mention number 67.
I feel like I should have set like chunks of decades because
Yeah,
like
maybe broke it
like,
down by decade.
Yeah,
we should have broken it down by
genre
decade. It
show.
would have been easier, and then we
No,
could
but
10.
it's more fun this way because
Yeah.
we're really not overlapping as much. as I
No,
thought
there's
we were.
very little overlap. Yeah,
So far, it's just been Doctor Who for you guys. so
realistically,
it's
I
not
mean,
bad.
we have they're not the same, but yeah, it's funny. That's the only overlap we've directly had.
So the 60s Batman theme song actually became a freaking dance craze. Like they would play it at clubs and people would dance to it and shit.
They would dance the
That's crazy to
Batusi.
me. Like that's crazy to me that they would take a TV theme show and it would become like an actual radio hit where people dance to it and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's not something that's happened that often, but you
Yep.
know.
I think that was probably among one of the first.
So
And it's
how
just, I think
boring
it's
was
cool.
music in the 60s?
It was not, sir.
I'm just joking, but that's what my boy was like.
That's when music was
Also
actually
from like
good.
superhero show, like
Yeah.
from
Oh, yeah,
superhero
yeah,
show
yeah.
themes, like there's plenty of them out there now.
Yeah,
But back in the 60s,
And this is-
there
you
wasn't.
had Superman and Batman.
And this is way before the
you had
real Superman
Batman,
theme.
and you had the Green Hornet.
Oh, Green
Green
Hornet.
Hornet,
Yeah, that's a good one
so-
too. Yeah. But like
And that's
you know,
pretty much it.
the true Superman theme hasn't happened yet at that point.
Oh, well, no, they didn't have the Donner
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
They did not
exactly.
have Williams' theme yet, but
Yeah, so-
they did have a previous.
Oh,
one
they
for the
did. No,
TV show.
I know what it. Yeah, I remember
For the
that.
other Reeves, that's not related to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt Reeves.
Or I think it's Reeve. It's not Reeves.
See,
I think,
no,
Reeve.
they're both
Mhm.
Reeves.
no, it's Reeve, not Reeves.
So it's Reeve, and Chris. It's Reeve,
Yeah.
and it was Christopher Reeves.
But I forgot his first
And then
name.
they have Matt Reeves doing Batman.
Matt Reeves
now,
does Batman.
Yeah, they're all related.
Mhm.
Yes. All right. So
So that's my number 3.
So my number 2, it's a modern one, but it's a big one for me, and that's Game of
The Girl
Thrones.
Doctor Who song.
No, fuck that. Game of Thrones.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to
that's a
give you
good
that
one.
because since that show came out, you can see it on everything. All the Netflix Marvel shows, like all these shows that are coming out now, they all have to have their version of that. Even The Expanse, which I'm watching now,
Yeah.
has a very Game of Thrones-ish
True.
kind of opening sequence to it.
Yeah, I feel like it added
Yeah.
it changed something where people were like, we can have these big grand
Mm-hmm.
theme songs to a show, not just a movie. And it is that is a movie worthy soundtrack.
Yep.
But I mean, it's
And then
HBO
the whole,
too.
I
so-
love the building of the map and all that
yeah.
stuff. It was very cool.
Yeah, and of course,
Yeah, I gotta agree, that's a good one.
and of course, House of the Dragon rolls in there too because it's the same theme. But
The same thing.
yeah.
It was very good
But
choices,
that's a
yeah.
good one there. And most people would say, no, it doesn't count because it's too new. It's like, bitch, this is my list.
Yeah, they can go fuck themselves. They could be number,
You can put it on-
232 on their list.
Yeah, put it on your list where you want it. And
Mm-hmm.
some people, we'll get those people, that, I've never heard it. Is go listen to it.
You've
All right.
never heard Game of Thrones, you do not need to be listening to our podcast.
Some people don't have HBO, unfortunately.
No excuse, Pirate Bay.
Yes. All right, Rob.
So number 2 is for me Knight Rider. So
Okay.
I placed
Nice.
it higher up on the list.
Way
so, yeah,
higher.
I mean, Glenn Larson. Glenn Larson actually did part of the composition for it along with Stu Phillips. So yeah, I totally agree on every point that you had made, Ricky, where it's that beat. It's been used in a lot of references. It's been used in a lot of themes, not just Knight Rider based ones, and it's been used in a lot of iconic songs.
Yeah.
So it even now it's still considered part of the culture because it was that the way it was composed it works. And again, it's that buildup. It works as a song. It works as a theme track, and it definitely defines that. I want to say it defines the era, but it definitely helps.
It defines a
It's
very
definitely
short
80s.
era, like a very early 80s era for sure.
80s sci-fi kind of TV.
Actually, that's
pop
not
song.
early 80s. That was later 80s, 85.
Yeah, that was like
I mean, you could
85,
say like
87,
Miami
80,
Vice, but
89.
nothing was more future
Yeah,
forward than
it
Knight
sounded
Rider.
futuristic at the time, and maybe it was just all the synth and something about it. Not to mention it was a techie show, but there was something about it. Like it's in the same vein as Magnum PI, but it doesn't have the same effect. Although now I have the Magnum theme song running through my fucking head. Like over everything else we said, I've got I've got that fucking stuck in.
Yeah, because I considered Knight Rider versus like the theme for Airwolf, where I mean
Airwolf is there, but it's
back
lesser.
in the 90s.
That's why it was honorable
I mean,
mention.
back in the 90s, I had the MIDI for Airwolf. If that
So did I.
dates your
100% I did
references.
too.
mean,
Nice.
Yeah.
I had it on my old
So-
original like crappy website that you could build on AOL back in the day. That was There was Airwolf and Knight Rider playing MIDI versions in the background.
Yep.
So yeah, no.
Yeah.
But like the funny thing is like a lot of people will start trying to hum the Airwolf theme and then they inevitably roll into
to
the
Knight
Knight Rider
Rider.
theme. It's like so similar. It's just it's Nightcopter is really what it
I
is.
mean, that's all it was Knight Rider with blades. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty
Except
much
the
all it
helicopter
was.
couldn't talk.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. That show wasn't
would've
as
been
good. realistically, but it was still fun. It was still fun. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying it wasn't as good. Like the character development, not to mention it hasn't been as long lasting as this. Knight Rider was still going in sequel forms up until not that long ago.
God damn it! I'm adding another one to my fucking. If
Ricky's just adding more and more.
If we don't
I mean,
list
in
it.
theory, we could just do another top 5 list of
No.
this. So okay,
But this is just gonna be if we make it through and nobody's mentioned them, I'll say them.
okay. So
All right. So my number 2. The correct answer was Enterprise.
no,
I am a big fan of songs that make me feel like hit me in my feels and stuff, and the lyrics of that are actually very like appropriate for that show and like what they were
You
going
surprised
for.
me with that one though. That
It's-
surprises me.
It's on all 5 of my iPods. Have a copy
surprises
of
you that
song on
Rick
there.
it means that much to Ricky, or
That I actually like.
No, it's just
Star
that
Trek?
it means that much to Ricky. That's
Yeah.
that's
we talked
no,
about
not
it
that Star
before
Trek,
though.
just that it means that much because
Yeah.
to me, like, granted. Okay, so when I
That was
saw
because it was
I
in your
wasn't
top 5
turned off by it.
sci-fis.
It wasn't in my.
Probably.
It was not
It
in
was.
my. It was not in any of my lists.
No,
Because
I'm
to
saying-
me, like,
No, you're talking
saying-
about mine.
and it's-
When Ricky
Oh,
when we
yours,
did
yeah.
the first top 5 sci-fi shows with Mike back, a couple
Enterprise
months
was
ago,
in there.
Enterprise was in there, and we talked about
oh,
the theme
that's
song.
right. Yeah. I got
I knew it was going to be in there, but
Yeah.
and
That song
DS9
has
was
to
in
be
mine. So
Yeah.
and Doctor
And-
Who.
And then we both were talking about how we didn't get what's its face in their Babylon 5. Like we were both upset that we didn't have it on our list.
I wasn't upset. It just didn't
Yeah.
mean as much. It's
Yeah,
good,
but
but it didn't
Enterprise, I love it. I think the lyrics are very apropos to the show with the spirit of them going forward into the unknown and trying to find stuff and having that drive and that dream to be heading somewhere. I think the song is just damn near perfect. And then of course it has all the orchestral parts to it. And being that I played violin for 7 years growing up and cello and piano, I'm very much love classical music, and when it gets worked into stuff, I'm really I love orchestra, so it's a big song. I love it. I
Very
think
cool.
it swells appropriately. It
Very
has
cool.
strength. It has, it's just a beautiful song. And then you just throw the lyrics in on top of it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I do want to throw this is not an honorable mention. I'm just going to talk about it because one thing that's interesting in the Star Trek themeverse,
Mhm.
it seems like the original is iconic in and of itself. TNG iconic. DS9 less iconic, but still fantastic. Voyager, people started hating on it. Then of course you get to that one, which is a real song, so to speak.
Mhm.
And then you get to Discovery, which
I haven't watched it.
has its own theme, still very cinematic, but then the end of its theme song is the original Star Trek theme because this is a prequel.
Nice.
So it ends on the burn, 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 burn,
Nice.
the horns and all that.
Right.
So it goes
Mhm.
through its own theme and then it finishes on the original Star Trek theme and the way that
Nice.
TNG also ended.
I
So
like
it-
those little nods like
it's
that.
and I actually have that. My ringtone on my phone right now is that section of the Discovery theme because it's modern and with more modern sounding instruments and stuff. So
All
yeah,
right, so we're down to number ones.
We're down to
and
our
this
top
is
one.
the part where I'm going
And
to
see,
start.
this is
telling-
why. But see, he rolled into my number one, which. Go ahead, Ricky, and then we'll.
This is where I get to tell everybody how
well,
wrong
this
they
is
are. For
my
having
number
the
one
incorrect
first.
number one. It's Shoki's turn first.
Yes,
and I get
so-
to tell him he's wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. You're wrong, Shoki. Because
I'm
I
not
know you
wrong.
didn't choose the right one.
I'm
You're
not wrong.
Go ahead.
It's
What's number one?
Firefly.
Definitely wrong.
No,
Not even in the top
Yeah.
5.
I think it's the only one on my list that has lyrics. It is. It's the only one with lyrics.
You word hater.
No, I'm not a hater because my top pick is the only one with lyrics.
Dear Mr. Whedon, he picked 3 of your shows, sir.
This is true. I did pick 3 Joss Whedon shows, technically speaking. All right, so I mean, like, it's just fantastic song. Take my,
Yeah, it is. It is good. It is good.
It's fantastic. Now, I had a hard time deciding where it was going to be on the list, but I'm pretty sure Firefly was my number 1 on our sci-fi list, so it makes sense that the song would also tie.
Mm.
But yeah,
So
it's just
still wrong.
no,
All right.
because like much like you said with Enterprise, the lyrics 100% go with the song, except this song
Yes.
was made for the show. So, and I've heard a lot of really good covers of it, stuff like that, and it's just it fits, like it is the theme of the show,
Nice.
So And now for some reason Gilligan's Island's running through my head. So
Just
go
sit
ahead, Rob.
back and you'll hear a tale. All right, so let's hear which one you're wrong about, Dormammu.
Well, no, see, y'all were talking about Star Trek, and my number one is literally the original.
I knew it.
theme.
I
you?
fucking knew
Nice.
it. I knew it because everything else you were listing off, I knew Star Trek was going to be your
Right.
number one.
I mean,
Nice.
Alexander
Yeah.
Courage, Jerry Goldsmith it is a Desilu produced song. It is a running theme for how many years of how many of the Star Trek themes? And yes, TNG is definitely iconic, but that was used for the motion picture. It is an iconic song. Babylon 5, completely agree. My favorite, absolute favorite theme songs. I mean, there's a lot of songs that didn't make my list, like the theme song to Buck Rogers in the 24th Century, the theme song for Babylon 5, the theme song for Farscape, Stargate.
That's a good one.
You name it.
But Stargate's a good one.
So-
the original, but Star Trek the original still rocks. It still goes.
What
The
do you?
drums
How do you
and-
feel
and the
about
use
these?
behind it all work.
How do you feel about Strange New Worlds doing a version of it now?
I don't mind.
It's
And
the same, but it's updated.
It's just that it again, it's sort of like the other shows that have been produced, and here's the thing. I do agree, Ricky. Enterprise's theme does work for that show because it is a pioneering theme. It's well before we get into the whole thematic element of it all. It does work for that show. A lot of people felt that it didn't, but
No, people
it
are
does.
stupid.
Well, yeah, but it does
In
work
general.
for that show in particular. But I do
Yeah.
like my thematic music. I like my orchestrals.
Yes.
So I don't mind if they use the same bass for other shows. It's nothing we haven't seen before. Look at Lord of the Rings versus what we're getting with the Rings of Power. It's that same reworking of certain songs into newer ones. It makes sense. It makes
So-
perfect sense if a composer, especially if they get the original composer to come back and do it. It's like any of the Star Wars movies. If you get the original composer
You get John
to come
Williams
back in
yeah.
and do those things, or if you got or you're getting the original orchestras to come back and do that work,
Okay, so
you're reworking it.
in the same
and
vein,
it works.
what about the modern Star Trek movies, the Kelvin timeline movies with their updated theme song? How do
They're
you feel
very
about that?
blitzed up. Yes, they're very blitzed up. They're very.
They're trying too hard.
They're trying too hard.
True, but
They're
they
trying too
still-
hard. It's too much.
It's a direct
little too
reference
much
to it,
techno
though.
there. It's a little too much Moby, folks.
Okay, so
Ooh.
since you busted out some information about your stuff, I wanted to look this up because I wanted to see who did the modern ones for Star Trek. So I looked up Discovery, and it turns out the same guy did Discovery, Strange New Worlds, and a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's Jeff Russo. So he's an American composer, songwriter, guitarist, vocalist, and music producer, and one of the founding two members of Tonic. If you guys recall that rock
Nice.
band,
Yep.
Tonic. And
Closing time.
Yep.
Interesting.
so
He's not the only rock dude that's actually done composition too. There's several others that are quite surprising.
Danny
so
Elfman.
Danny, there you go.
Danny
So
Elfman. That's a great example.
So for reference, and some people might not be happy about this list in theory, but some of his notable shows he's helped compose is Snowfall, Fargo, Legion, Counterpart, Star Trek, Discovery, Picard, and Strange New Worlds. So he's done all three new
Prolific.
Star Trek themes. So
Nice.
that means he composed that,
Nice.
even though it's very much based off the original. Now, I've not heard the Picard theme, but I hear it has some references in TNG, but not really.
It does, yeah. Yeah, it does.
I've never bothered to watch that show, if I'm honest. So, all right, Ricky, let's see how wrong you are with your number
Okay,
one.
well, first of all, my number one is the correct answer. But since I let you two get through your top five and you didn't mention these two, oh shit, I forgot this one.
So these
now I'll
are
bring
left
them up.
off the list.
Yeah. So X-Files was another. That's one of the ones that just gets in your ear and you just fucking earworm it. That
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Mhm.
Like it gets stuck in there for days sometimes. And then
And there are
Another
variants
one?
that have been used in other shows for it.
MacGyver.
That's a good one too. Yeah. How did we miss that
That's a
with
good
all
one.
the other 80s talk?
That's what made me hit. Because if you remember
Yeah.
when I went, oh shit, back when we were talking about the Knight Rider and all that, that's
Yeah.
the one that hit because it was one
See,
of those 80s.
This is
like,
This is why I'm glad I
Yeah.
didn't pay attention to everyone else's list, because I'm sure that would be in there.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. You nailed it.
Okay.
So those are the two that I went, oh shit, during it. So now here is the correct number one top answer, best theme song of all time. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. It's the Greatest American
And
Hero.
knew Greatest
and all
American
of
Hero
y'all
would come
are
up at some point.
so wrong for not having that as your number one. It is definitely is the one. Everybody knows this one. We were talking about songs
It
being
is,
on the
and
radio.
it actually comes back. It's the only song that's come back on the top 40 at least 3 times.
Multiple times.
I don't know
And
this song.
it is, we were talking about them theme songs becoming radio hits. That one was fucking massive. And like he just pointed out, multiple times it became a massive hit on the radio.
The only reason I referenced that song is, what was it, Seinfeld with George's answering machine?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm not at home.
Yeah, that's the only reference I have for that song. That's the only one.
You didn't watch the show?
No, I've never heard, I've never watched it. Never heard of the actual song.
You gotta watch.
God,
you gotta watch.
man.
You gotta watch some of this show.
It's William
I have to?
Katz
It's
was
available. It's
so
on Tubi,
amazing in
it's
that
on-
show.
Yes.
It used to be on Netflix. I remember when I first had Netflix back when they still only did the CDs to your house, the DVDs to your house. Actually, that was one of the ones that I had them send me all the seasons. I was watching them and sending them back.
Nice.
It's so 80s. It is very much a product of its time.
Yeah.
But it's so awesome, and especially coming from the nerd sphere, how we're into superheroes and stuff. It's funny to see it on a different, like from a different angle. This is not the cleaned up, shiny Batman, Superman that we're all used to. This is a doofy dude who literally can do all that stuff, but can't land. Like it's a running gag that he cannot land after he flies. So every time he has to fly, he literally just has to crash to get down out of the sky. He can't do anything about it. He's a total doof. Pretty much.
Well, he's DuckTales
But
Launchpad.
There's a
Before
lot of
Launchpad
history
McFly.
behind that show too.
Yeah, Greatest American Hero was awesome. It got canceled, came back. You know, they fought to have other people in it. They were supposed to reboot it. The reboot got canceled. Like that show and that song.
So
I knew
It's
ahead of
one of the
time.
few shows that managed to skip networks.
Yes,
Interesting.
and survive. Like it didn't get canceled because it started losing
And
ratings.
survive, yeah.
It was one of those ones that they got canceled, and the studio never really gave you a reason.
Oops.
And it wasn't like it was bombing or bringing down their time slots. They just like, we're not making it anymore. And it did go long. What, 3 seasons?
Toy
4
Galaxy
seasons?
does a good. Something like that. Toy Galaxy does a good breakdown of it. Recently, as a matter
I love
as a
Toy
matter of
Galaxy, so I have to look at that one because I must have missed that one because I love Greatest American Hero, and that theme
because
song
there
is-
was. I remember even back in the day, there was a lot of issues with William Katt and his contractual obligations, and there was a lot going on in the background that people didn't know.
And he's a
And
very
if
serious
you look at
actor, and people couldn't separate him from the doofiness of that character, and like
exactly, yeah.
But it was it's
the
right
last. Yeah, the last thing that they said was that there was going to be a reboot of it, but that was back in 2019, and nothing.
there. That was a few years ago. But then they were going to make it it was going to be a
happened
female
since.
Greatest American Hero. He was going to show up to like pass the mantle or something.
Well, remember when they redid
Exactly,
what was it, $6 million woman or whatever?
The Bionic Woman.
Yeah. Well, no, they had a modern version. It was
Bionic Woman.
It was
which is also $6 Million Man is also a very iconic show.
Yeah.
Theme.
You know,
I don't know that one offhand. If I do, I wouldn't recognize it.
In fact, I think that's another.
I know the sound effect, but I don't
another
know
one that
the
we've
song.
mentioned.
All right. So
like that.
yeah.
I think that's another Glenn Larson written one too, if I remember.
But yeah, that was
So-
my number one. I was the only one I was worried about really was Dormammu pulling that out of his ass. Like of the two of y'all, he was the only one I was like, it might be on his list. That sounds like some crazy shit he'd pull out.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna be on mine. I've got no
yeah,
reference.
But that's why I was pretty confident at the beginning, saying none of y'all would have it.
It could have been. It
Dormammu's
could have been an
one of my
honorable
first
mention. No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is now. All right.
Once we made it past honorable mentions, I was like, whew, we're in the free and clear. I know these guys. I'm surprised it wasn't Doctor Who at number one for both you fucktards. I mean, I'm kind of.
No, more.
No,
I think if we
it's stuck on my number 4 because it's not the most. It's not the most iconic.
3 years ago,
it's not the most
it might have
iconic,
been.
but it is on there.
But I love the fact that really we went through this, and all at the end of the day, we all probably
lists.
put out top 10s, like with all our honorable mentions and ones that we remembered along the way. And when they only overcrossed like twice.
Like, how is Firefly not even on your list at all, Ricky?
And I like Firefly.
That's
It would
crazy.
be in a top 10.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be in the
so
top
it'd be
five.
in the honorable mentions zone.
Yeah, it would not be in the
Just
top 5.
the infinite honorable mentions zone.
Yeah, the one that keeps going. By the time we're done with this, will be like top 100.
Literally
TV show
top
theme
100.
songs.
All right. Rob, do you have time for me to read off everybody else's list that wrote in, since we don't have to have discussions?
No, I'll
Okay.
break here and say bye, everybody. Sorry I couldn't stick around for this show, but
No,
if
you just
can't
say
hear
bye.
The dog barking in the background and the kids.
No. We don't want your sad story. Just say bye.
Bye.
I'm going to
Love you
include
all. Be
I'm
nice to
including
each other.
all of that.
Don't tell me what to do, Dormammu.
Don't tell me I'm going to live my life, Dad.
All right, so you're gonna read the top 5s of everybody's, or we're gonna make fun of their lists.
We can make fun of their lists as well.
Sweet.
We have to make fun of Jay twice, I think, because
Okay.
he had to adjust his list ever so slightly. So this is from the N.Y.M.I.A YouTube. I have to go through the other one here in a bit. I think I posted on the SHOKY one, but I'll have to check. Either way, so we'll go with Mike first, who should be here doing this with us live, but he's not. All right, so his number 5 is Cheers. So cool. His number 4 is Friends, which I'm surprised.
That's definitely, I'm surprised.
That's a solid one. I thought about it, but it's just not as meaningful now.
No, it doesn't have any meaning, but we're talking top 5 of all time. Like,
well, we're going with us. It's our top
our
5,
personal,
so it's objective.
our personal
so.
top 5. Okay, I got you.
So
because that's a definite honorable.
Yeah,
mention.
we're not voting on the best ones ever. We're going for our tops,
our choices.
Otherwise, we would just look it up. It's like, okay, what were the best ones ever? Okay, there we go. His number 3 is Battlestar Galactica, the original.
Nice.
I don't know if the original one sounds too different. I've never heard it.
I think it's more synthy sounding.
The modern one doesn't. It's not like it's got a lot of drums.
Yeah.
But nothing crazy. It's more the actual intro itself is good, not so much the song. It just works. His number 2 is Doctor Who. Figured that would be in there. And his number 1 is Chuck. So his themes.
I still haven't watched that show. I keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, I haven't either. So his themes actually, much like my own, follow our sci-fi show voting as well.
He's very sci-fi on
Yeah.
those.
All right, so Alan Mack, which I think that's
Alan. That's Alan.
Alan. Yeah,
That's me. It's Alan.
So,
it's Alan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because
I was actually just talking to him yesterday. Look, damn it, Dormammu got off. I forgot to tell y'all something, but I'll save it for our recording Tuesday.
There we go.
But go ahead.
Okay. So Alan did. I've never heard of this one. So top 5 or his number 5 is Love Hate. I never heard of that.
That's some English shit, probably.
Could be. His number 4 is Cops. How we didn't get Bad Boys in there.
Nice.
Seriously though, Bad Boys.
Yeah, but that's a reality show. I wasn't counting.
But
that
it's
as,
live action
I know that's
TV,
technically
so
live action, but I was thinking we were
we-
thinking produced TV shows. Not,
Well, we didn't say specifically that it had to be a fictional
I
show.
know,
So, I mean, in theory, there could be some news stations out there that have a fucking bop for their intro music. You don't know.
Bomb ass intro to News Channel 11.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Oh, dude. Oh, I have another top 5 we need to do.
What's
Top
that?
5 game show theme songs.
Oh God,
Dude.
And you know Jeopardy wins. No, not for theme song. Jeopardy has the good music inside of it.
Inside it, yeah. But I mean, it's the same, roughly the same. We're not going to get into that right now. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, his number 2 is The Witcher, which is pretty
Nice.
solid. The Witcher theme's pretty nice. But his number 1 is Game of Thrones. So
Yeah, that Witcher has a very Games of Thrones feel to it too.
which makes sense. Similar
Yep.
genre. Oh, here we go. I was about to read Mike's again.
Good job, Alan.
All right, so we have Jay, otherwise known as Jan Goza. So his honorable mentions. His honorable mention is all of the Stargate ones, which credit, they're all pretty good.
Stargate's good ones, but I love them. The movie theme is 1,000 times. Just
Yeah, we're not doing movie themes, unfortunately,
I know.
today, because we all know like that's going to have to be a top 10 for movie themes, though, because there's just too many.
It'd have to be a top 20. You're ridiculous.
Well, then we just keep going.
Yeah.
His number 5, I wanted to put on my list, and I couldn't figure out where it would go in the top 5, and that's House. So
that's a good one.
I feel bad about that because I love that
ER's
song.
another one too.
That's Teardrop by Massive Attack. Is that song?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another one that's a mainstream song that's themed to a show. But if you watch the Netflix version, or I'm sorry, the Amazon version of House, most of the episodes are using the outro theme, not that one. But there's one season where the rights must have changed, and it actually plays the correct song.
Nice.
Netflix was the same way when it was on Netflix. So, fun fact. His number 4 is Bones.
That's a good one.
I don't remember that theme off the top of my head.
Oh, you know which one? Psych. I know that you know we couldn't handle the truth.
Never watched that one.
I
Never watched that one.
show. You never watched Psych?
No, I never saw that one.
Dude, watch
was
it.
That, was that a
you and
what network was that on?
USA.
Oh, that'd be why I
was
didn't have
USA,
it. Yeah.
but it's on.
It's on one of the streamings. I know it is.
It's on Netflix or Amazon now. But you and the wife will love that show. Like,
Maybe.
It's hilarious.
Maybe I got enough shows to watch. Speaking of which, I'll get into it, but I've just finished a series, at least up to current, today before we got started. That's the last 5 minutes we were watching. It's like it was the last episode of the last season of this show for now. So I was
What
like,
show?
I'm not going to talk about it now. I'll talk about it later.
Oh fuck me! You and your, I'm gonna surprise you.
Well, it's not a surprise. It's just topic for the main show or main recording.
For your what you did this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. So number 3 is NCIS. All there's like 4 NCIS shows, so that's
they're all the Who. So
no, that's not NCIS. That's CSI. Now the CSI, that's a whole thing. Which CSI theme is the
Baba
best?
O'Reilly.
The Baba O'Reilly
CSI
from
New
the
York
original.
is the best one.
Wait,
no,
that's not New York. That's
yes,
original.
CSI New York. Nope. Out here in the field.
I thought that was
CSI
the
New York.
original from Vegas.
Nope, that's Who Are You?
Oh, you're right. Wait, then what's?
I know.
Hold on. Well, what's Miami then?
It is Won't Get Fooled Again.
Oh, that's right. Right at the beginning. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Oh, I got these fucking ridiculous.
Now you're talking my shit, man. Classic rock. You're in my dance hall.
Oh. Hold on. I'm getting these weird text messages now, and I don't know where they're coming from. I'm gonna block. It was an email address that somehow came to my.
Oh, that's definitely Satan.
Yeah, I'm getting rid of that shit. All right.
All right. So what was his number 2?
I was reading through there. Okay. So his number 2 is Star Trek Enterprise / Voyager. So that's interesting. But he edited that. Buddy. But he edited it because he originally had all. And I told him you can't have a 7-way fucking tie. That's ridiculous. That's top 5 Star Trek themes. That's not. It's like, okay, so which the order? So he put
chose
Voyager.
Enterprise as his number 2.
Enterprise
Me too, Jay.
and Voyager.
Twinsies.
Voyager.
Yeah, I don't care about that part. Twinsied. Enterprise is number 2.
But he also had a tie for number 1. So his number 1 is Firefly and MASH. So it's funny that MASH ended up at the bottom of our list, but at the top of his. But as we know, Jay is very different. So, all right, now let me pop over to the It Doesn't Have to Make Sense channel where I posted it. Oh, wait, nope. I had that open on my phone, not the computer. Give me a second. I gotta scroll over. Where the fuck is YouTube? Okay, there it is. I had it open already. All right. So actually a decent amount of entries from over here. Because we do get some listeners from that channel. So Callie didn't technically put numbers to her list, just a list. The A-Team, which I'm sure also falls into the same thing like Dormammu was talking about. Star Trek, the
Knight Rider theme.
Yep. Yeah. So Star Trek, the original series.
Nice.
Also, I forgot to say, most of them are instrumental to what she said. That's what she said. Chips. There's a good one. There's a good one. Dallas. That's a pretty good one too. I still remember.
That's a deep cut. Because my mom used to watch that show religiously.
And the Jeffersons also. So
nice.
And she says, if I hear any of those, I know immediately the TV show. So it's like instantly recognizable. Although I will say for Star Trek the original, now it'd be hard to know because it's associated to at least 2 separate series and partially a third.
It still sounds very different. The theremin and the grittiness of it and stuff.
Yes and no, but because Strange New Worlds, like, I mean, if you just heard a remastering of the original, you probably wouldn't be able to know that it's different, except for the voice. If you hear just the voice between Kirk and what was his name? Pike. That's a major giveaway there. But the song itself is exactly the same. They play it all the way through. They do the read of the quote unquote. Yeah, exactly.
Star Trek Enterprise.
No, Starship Enterprise. The Star Trek Enterprise. These are the voyages of the Star Trek Enterprise.
Whatever.
This is when it was on TV. This is when it was off air.
This is the Star Trek manifesto.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so Will he wrote in an excuse first, and then I made him write the list. So Will first said, if we're strictly talking live action, I legit can't think of more than 2, although you may have recorded already, so it doesn't matter at this point. Of course, this was before we found out you had COVID, and I said, nope, never mind. You've got time. So he did give a top 5. And this is a good one I didn't consider. Malcolm in the Middle is his number 5.
Nice.
That's a good one. Name of the
You're
song
not
is...
the boss of me now.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That song's great. And what's interesting... Oh, that's funny. He has Psych on here. So
Yeah, and Big Bang is another one that we
Big Bang Theory, that's but either way, so his number 4 is Smallville, Save Me. So his actually are all like almost mainstream songs, which is interesting. Psych, which is I Know You Know.
Yep.
Bones.
And ironically enough, the guy singing that song is actually the director of the show, the director and the creator. He recorded the
I don't
theme
think
song,
that's
too.
irony.
Mm.
That's not exactly irony. It would be irony if he recorded it 5 years before he decided to make the show, but it's not if he
How about
produced it for it.
interestingly then?
There we go. There's the word you want. His number 2 is Bones. His number 1 is House.
Nice.
And he says the first theme, so he's acknowledging
he means
the
the actual song.
Teardrop, from Massive Attack. And he said, that's the best you're going to get out of me. I was like, that's a good list, though, so it's fine.
Good list.
All right, and then we have John Tucker, who is an odd duck in and of himself. He's always in the chat on our live streams on that channel, and he is an oddball, but he makes the chat fun. His number 5 is Cheers. His number 4, something I think we all forgot about, and it's an oldie but a goodie, Bonanza.
Nice. Bonanza.
That's another one that was in the zeitgeist and like used, so many different ways. I mean, like Looney Tunes had a version of the banana theme.
But I mean, if you're going with that, then you also
Bonanza.
have the Lone Ranger too, which is just technically the the William Tell overture.
Yes.
So, I mean,
that's
kind of
once again we got mainstream music for theme songs. So you got to remember that a lot of the people from that channel are an older generation, so that makes sense. The references are older. His number 3 is Carol Burnett Show.
Good one.
That's a good one. Number 2 is Gunsmoke. Another. And that's
good.
Super
he likes
classic.
Country shows, obviously.
Well, classics at least. And his number 1 also did not consider this, the Andy Griffith Show.
Nice.
Yes. So that's... Dude, it took me a long time to learn to whistle that, if I'm honest with you. Well, yeah, because I wasn't that good at whistling, but it took a long time to get it right. What does Mike say? I'm getting ready for Jewish New Year. Oh, interesting.
It's Rosh Hashanah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know why he's saying that. Canadians don't celebrate good stuff.
Because he's half Jewish?
Goldie Hawn's half too.
Yes. Well, you and he together.
Put them together.
Would not be a fine-looking Jew. Not you and Mike together. All right, so guys, that's our top 5s and some of y'all's. And of course, if you're hearing this after the fact, and
did you say Christina wrote you in too?
I thought she did, but I don't have it in a text message or something. I could have sworn that she wrote in, but I could be wrong. There's no message and there's no comment on it. So, and
all of y'all were wrong for not including Greatest American Hero. So welcome to the
apparently
club
you're the
only with Shoki and Dormammu.
You and Dormammu are the only people who ever saw that show, apparently. So either way,
this dude saw Gunsmoke. I know he saw Greatest American Hero.
That is interesting that he had Gunsmoke and Bonanza, but not the Lone Ranger. So that's interesting. Nobody had Howdy Doody. But you would have to be old. Like you'd have to basically have cut out TV in like 1962 to basically be there. So if you guys have theme songs that we didn't think of that you actually love more than other things, please include them down below in your own list, because that'd be fun to see. Because I mean, there's a million TV shows. God knows we can't get them all. Stranger Things is a good one, for modern day. Like, what'd be interesting is to hear from more younger people who haven't heard all these or seen all these older shows that we referenced the entire time. Like Nickelodeon shows. There's a ton of freaking theme songs there that are great in and of themselves in their genre. So, it's like we can go ugh when it comes to that, but
it's Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Anybody even remember that show?
Never heard of it.
Oh,
but
man.
dude, we could do a top 5 TGIF theme songs if we wanted to go there, like just straight up mid 90s,
late 80s, early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
what is that? Family Matters.
Family Matters, Full House, Step by Step. What was the other one that was huge on TGIF that I know I'm going to be annoyed. By the way, just on that subject, there was a very short-lived show that I think was on TGIF, but I could be wrong. because I remember it being in a block of shows. I thought it was on TGIF, but maybe it wasn't. It was a show called Scorch. And it starred a puppet dragon that basically crash landed in this dude's backyard. And
So it was Alf, but with a dragon.
Kind of. It was,
I don't remember that.
It was very short lived, but I loved that show when I was a kid.
I remember Unhappily Ever After.
Yes.
Remember that where Bobcat Goldthwait played?
Dude, Married with Children. How do we not have Married with Children on this list?
Love
See,
and marriage.
Okay, so like it's gonna have to be a genre thing if we're gonna to
either a genre thing or
decades.
a decade thing.
Hell, it can be
this
channels.
list could just keep going.
Like we can go on.
No,
forever.
I'm not trying to do all that homework. I don't.
No, but I mean, like
NBC,
because growing up,
ABC.
you know, if it was on.
No, I don't. I don't remember that shit, dude. I just remember like
because Knight Rider was CBS.
It'd be more
NBC.
local affiliates. Like I remember watching Addams Family on UPN 44.
Well, because it was Paramount.
In Tampa.
That's why. Yeah.
And if you don't have channel 44, if you didn't live in Tampa, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it was on whatever Paramount affiliate. Because I watched Addams Family on our channel 20, I believe, which was our Paramount.
Yeah, I don't remember none of that shit. I didn't pay attention.
And
to that
eventually
shit.
became UPN. So that
I stopped on shows that I liked. I didn't care what channel it was on.
Yeah. And I mean, like if we did it by decade next time, it'd probably be easier to
decade
nail
or
down.
genre. Yeah, just to nail it down.
Well, because I didn't want to do sci-fi shows because then we're just basic or sci-fi themes because we're just going to repeat the same list we did before almost. You know, because we associate the theme to the shows we loved in the first place. So like, I don't remember Babylon 5's theme at all. I think it was just straight instrumental, but I don't, and it was more like a battle song, almost like BSG was. But I think we definitely have to do cartoon theme songs for sure.
Batman wins.
Batman or Gargoyles? That's a good fight though, one way or the other.
Gargoyles will make an honorable mention on my list, and it is a great theme.
I've been nope, never mind. I'm not gonna save for my week later. So
anyway.
Here's the thing. We haven't done a proper episode in essentially 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We have to like make up for it all. So it should be fun. But either way, guys, do the like and subscribe thingy, leave us a rating, all that kind of stuff. If you want to reach out to us, you can do so either in the comments down below, which helps feed the algorithm, or you can write to us directly at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com, which we do have an email to read when we do our main episode. So that'll be fun. And actually, I think the show that is being written in about has a pretty good theme song in and of itself. See, the funny thing is there's YouTube shows that have fantastic themes as well, but we don't even consider it because it's not on TV. So, but guys, make sure you can follow me at all the Shoky related things in the description down below. You can follow Ricky at the work he does for Nerd Rage Radio on Facebook, almost said YouTube, and then on Realm Hatton Project. It's been a while since I've done the spiel. The Realm Hatton Project on the Realm of Collectors channel. Rob, you can just find him anywhere.
Friday nights at 9.
Yeah, Friday nights at 9. Sorry, I thought I said it. I said it in my head, but then I stumbled over the words. That's the problem. I'm ahead of myself in my brain. I'm thinking faster than I'm talking. And then, of course, Mike at all the Comic Relief Crusader things, and hopefully he'll be able to actually get on with us sometime soon. He said he wants to. We just haven't been able to make it work schedule-wise, which all of our schedules have been fucked recently, which is why we missed a week. And then, is there anything else?
I cut you off on Dormammu. You didn't do his spiel.
Well, I said, you can basically find Dormammu in the chat or anything realm related.
Sliding up in my DMs.
Basically. He does not have it. It's like basically you can find Rob here when we record things. That's when you can find Rob.
And chat squadding it up over in Realm.
Yep, exactly. So, but either way, guys, we'll catch you on the next actual episode, which should be recorded on this upcoming Tuesday, which this will probably come up on Wednesday. So you guys are going to hear this out of order and it's going to sound funny. But anyway,
suck it.
That's how YouTube time travel works. So, bye, guys.
Bye.
We actually don't do buys.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.